La reunión fue cancelada. Se canceló la reunión. Both are correct. So why does Spanish almost always choose the second one? Today we're talking about the passive voice in Spanish, but not in the academic way. We're going to focus on how Spanish is actually spoken and why what sounds normal in English often sounds strange in Spanish. Let's start with something very familiar. In English, the passive voice is everywhere. The meeting was canceled. The door was opened. We use it all the time. So when learners speak Spanish, they try to do the same thing. For example, la reunión fue cancelada. Grammatically, this sentence is correct. Native speakers actually understand this. But here's the problem. Spanish speakers usually don't talk like this. Now listen to this version. Se canceló la reunión. This is a sentence you'll hear in real life. And the meaning is the same. And that's what we're here for, right? Real Spanish, real life Spanish. That's what you want. Again, the meeting was canceled. So the real question is, why does Spanish avoid the passive voice? Here's the key idea. Spanish prefer to focus on the action, not on the subject. So that's fantastic. In English, the passive voice hides the subject by changing the verb form. In Spanish, we usually hide the subject by using se. This is often called the impersonal se, S-E. I mean, the name is not important for you today. Okay, so let's not focus on that. What matters is how it works. Let's slow down and look at this very carefully. In English, we say, the meeting was canceled. Spanish doesn't ask who canceled it. In Spanish, we say, se canceló la reunión. Something happened. The action is the focus. No subject needed. Maybe Juan forgot the meeting, but he just doesn't want to admit this. I don't know. It's not important. No subject needed. Let me repeat this in a simple way. In English, we change the verb to hide the subject. In Spanish, we keep the verb simple and add se, S-E. Different structure, same intention. Let's see a few more examples. El email fue enviado. El email fue enviado. Se envió el email. La puerta fue abierta. Weird. Se abrió la puerta. Fantastic. El vuelo fue cancelado. Extra fancy. Se canceló el vuelo. Something happened. We don't know. But the flight is not happening anymore. In everyday Spanish, the se version sounds way more natural. Attention. At this point, if the idea of se still feels confusing, no worries. Just go to the comments and write down, hey Juan, we need a se video. What are you talking about? Hey Juan, fast, we need the video about se as soon as possible, and I'll take care of that. Actually, if you write it in Spanish, even better. Hey Juan, un video hablando de se, por favor. Rápido, por favor. Hey, if you subscribe, I'm gonna be doing it right there, right at that moment. Now, an important clarification. The passive voice with the verb ser is not wrong in Spanish. Let me repeat that. It is not wrong, but it is less common in daily speech. Spanish usually uses the passive with ser only when the agent is important. For example, la novela fue escrita por García Márquez. La novela fue escrita por García Márquez. Here, who wrote it matters. So the passive makes sense. But in most real-life situations, we don't care who did the action. We only care that it happened. And that's why Spanish uses se, S-E. Now, a very common learner mistake. Learners like you overuse the passive voice because they're thinking in English. They say things like, la clase fue cancelada. And again, it's correct, but hey, you're super fancy if you say something like that. You're very educated, or maybe, like, hey, maintenance, A native Spanish speaker, we usually say, la clase, or se canceló la clase, Shorter, cleaner, more natural. Se canceló la clase, muchachos. Let's go and play some soccer. Let's reinforce the main idea one more time. This is important. English passive voice focuses on the result and hides the subject. Spanish se, S-E, constructions focus on the action itself and remove completely the subject. Here is a simple test you can use. Ask yourself this: do I really need to say who did the action? Do I really need to blame Juan? No, just kidding. If the answer is no, use se, S-E, right? Understanding this difference is a big step, but using it naturally takes practice and feedback. If you want to stop translating from English and start using real Spanish with confidence, you can practice this kind of structure with native Spanish tutors at Worlds Across. Yes, they will correct you in real time. I'll leave the link below so you can learn more about Worlds Across and start a free trial. Hey, it's free. It's completely on us. Now let's close with a quick recap. Spanish has a passive voice with the verb ser. It exists. It's correct. But in real life, Spanish speakers prefer say, S-E, because Spanish focuses on actions, not agents. Now it's your turn. Think of one passive sentence in English and try to say it in Spanish using, yeah, you guessed it, say, S-E. That's how you start sounding more natural. And again, if this lesson helped you, like the video, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao!